country blue. Woody and Lou got the sports for you. From Boston streets to Kentucky's fields, get ready, folks, for the thrill it yields. Woody and Lou, sports and you, talking games, we love it's true. Every play, every score, let's dive in, it's time for more. Lacing up the boots and calling plays, debates and laughs for all the days. From Fenway Park to Derby Run, sports talk magic just begun. Woody Lou, sports and you, sideline stories coming through. Every cheer, heartbeat soar, tune in now, we'll give you more. Celtics screams to Wildcats roar, touchdowns, goals, and so much more. Grab a seat, enjoy the ride, Woody Lou right by your side.
The views expressed by the hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Department of Defense, the U.S. government, or any of its agencies. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is formed by providing this information, and nothing herein should be relied upon as legal counsel. For legal advice specific to your situation, please consult a qualified attorney. Braxton, we are live. And we actually hit the time that we announced we'd be going live, 8:15 Eastern. That's a rare occurrence for WLS&Y Podcast.
So our theme song went off at the designated time.
It went off. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad people were able to get in on time and that we were actually able to show up on time for once.
I agree. And I guess get into the first topic this Sunday night. We have a listener question that was posed to you, Braxton. Do you want to get into it?
Yeah, we had our number one fan. I don't want to say we have number one fans, but probably our number one fan, our most tenured fan, Patsy, reached out and she wanted a fan question answered. And her question was about our theme song. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before on the show. I said that, our theme song rivals that of Paul Feinbaum's theme song.
It's a long one.
In length and almost absurdity, but it's ours and we appreciate it. And the reason the song is so long is, we're known to have technical issues at times, so that's a good buffer in case anything goes. But no, it's a great song. And Memaw, you might be upset to know that me and Dan did not necessarily get the pen and paper out, write that out ourselves, or find someone to play the guitar and the string band to get going and singing that. That was artificial intelligence song making.
Yeah.
I can't answer it past that.
I'll take it from here, Braxton. Yeah. Patsy, yes, that's AI composing. That was in order to avoid getting DMCA'd and not having a copyright infringement for Woody Lou's Sports and You. So we own that theme song, and I'll actually, after this episode, when we post the recording to Spotify, I'll do a special post to Spotify of the full version of the Woody Lou's Sports and You theme song. It is longer.
So the next time you're going out to go get food or just make your commute, you can turn on Woody Lou's Sports and You theme song and just really get in the mood and get a hankering to tune into our latest show. Now, Dan, I know we've people say we were having some issues in episode 12 from a production standpoint. Don't want to produce live on air. Is there any way that I can see the screen so that I can see the chat and make sure that I'm in line with the ticker? From your point of view, is there any way that we can make that happen?
So I think this should work for you. Let's see if this works. Some live producing.
That's perfect, Dan. I don't want to mess up anything we got going on.
Hands up.
So
don't touch anything.
Apologize to the Spotify listeners, but for YouTube, make sure we're good. No trolls in the chat. If the audio is bad, be honest. This is an honor system, so just make sure we don't get trolled. But yeah,
no trolls in the chat. We got Trooper Mac. He said, "Yo, hey Trooper Mac, happy Sunday to you." And Patsy, she was sure it was us two that came up with the song. We did write the prompt for the AI song maker.
We inspired the song, and it can make you think of all the things AI can do. It's kind of scary. You could become They had the story about the Spotify band had over millions of listens and followers, and it came out that it was an fully AI band. It wasn't even real people creating the music.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. And before we get into the rest of our ticker topics, Braxton, I think we should note that probably the reason why we were on time today in going live and have had no technical difficulties yet, knock on wood, is the official first episode of Producer Kaylee.
Producer Kaylee is hired. She is here. No more on her later. Her time is now. She has hit the ground running. She posted our first reel. I believe it was yesterday. So if you haven't seen that reel, please go like it, comment, and share it. She pulled up an old clip of us talking about Slick Rick from back in the tournament. Yeah, we have her. Hopefully she can expand her reel making, and we can get on some algorithms to grow our followers and grow that youth fan base. She also made a very nice Instagram post highlighting the show today, where she dug up some dirt on me. Apparently she has more pictures of me than I was aware of.
It's a really nice picture of young Braxton.
Yeah, just doing boy things. So that was nice.
All right, so now into more of listener-inspired topics. Like we always say, there is the third host of Woody Lou's Sports News, so to speak, you. And we do pay attention and listen and read. So last episode, Gavin asked us about NASCAR. So Braxton, I'm going to let you take it away here with talking about NASCAR.
Yeah, so Gavin asking about NASCAR, I really loved him bringing that up because Gavin knows more about NASCAR than you and I probably ever will. In the sense of NASCAR fandom, you and I are the definition of casuals. But with that, when the you wants to know about something, we're going to provide that information. So we got a quick NASCAR update. We're kind of going to give you some highlights, so maybe we can grow some more people into the fold of NASCAR if you're not already into stock car racing. So what I can tell you about NASCAR, Dan, is today we had the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
Did you catch any of that race, Dan?
Nope. I was busy watching the Red Sox beat the Dodgers. They won the 3-game series. I'll talk more about that later. And then I was watching the PGA tournament up in Minneapolis or Minnesota.
The cool
somewhere.
thing, the awesome thing about the Brickyard 400, Bubba Watson, he's a golfer. That's how much I'm not locked into NASCAR.
I was going to say, Bubba Watson was playing the Live Tour in England.
Yeah, the JCB. Bubba Wallace broke a 100-race winless streak, coming out on top in a overtime final against Kyle Larson, who finished in second place. Bubba Wallace, of course, was very emotional following the race. He was crying, as only Bubba Wallace would, over dramatic, over emotional. That's kind of his MO recently. The cool thing about this race that people might not know is it's also the concluding race of the in-season challenge that NASCAR laid out this year, where it was a seeded bracket, 1 through 32. It's essentially like a March Madness in season, and they had racers pitted against each other, pun intended, each week when they advanced. The final today was between Ty Dillon, who was a 32 seed, and Ty Gibbs. Ty Dillon in the number 10 Chevy and Gibbs in the 54 Toyota, the grandson of Joe Gibbs and a member of Joe Gibbs Racing. Ty Gibbs was a 6th seed. He finished higher than Ty Dillon. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that means he was the winner of the in-season challenge. Unsure if there's playoff implications in that, but he did win the in-season challenge. Regardless of all of that, the one thing that people care about is what's the playoffs, what's this point standing looking like right now in NASCAR. What I can tell you is it's as expected. Hendrick Motorsports, which is a premier racing team in NASCAR, owns the top 3 spots. you have familiar faces. Chase Elliott, before the conclusion of the Brickyard 400, he was in first place, followed by William Byron, then Kyle Larson in third. Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick followed up in fourth and fifth place. No surprises there. So, yeah, that's the top 5 drivers. And that's really your NASCAR update. One thing we would like to bring up, though, I don't know if you saw this, Dan, just from being a sports guy. You see the Austin Hill and Eric Amarola drama from last night?
I did not.
So Austin Hill tried to commit murder in the Xfinity Series race.
Oh.
By completely dumping Eric, hit him in the rear, dumped him into the wall. Instead of having any remorse or acting like he didn't do it clearly on purpose, he immediately goes to his radio and says that he, in a lot of words that we can't say on these airwaves, did not do that on purpose and had no other option, and he did not do it on purpose, with a couple F words in there, which I think usually when someone's guilty, their first things to do immediately after is cover it up and let people know why they're not guilty. Typically leads to the crime. Very dangerous, not cool.
Yeah, we call those self-serving statements in the trade.
There you go. Not a legal podcast. And
not a legal podcast.
So, yeah, that happened in Xfinity Series. That was some good action that I know Gavin was interested in. And, Gavin, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't really expand much further than that. I've kind of hit my limit on my NASCAR update. But, Dan.
I have a question, Braxton. So, the in-season challenge, I think it's pretty cool. So, it's a seeded tournament where each, like, you have your, like, obviously you're in the bigger race, and then you have your opponent that you need to beat to advance in the tournament. And you're saying that in the inaugural tournament, the 32 seed made it to the championship. Like, how's that not bigger news? Like, that's awesome.
Robert Morris essentially made it to the national championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Before losing to a solid, Houston squad.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's more parity
that is cool
in racing NASCAR than there is in college basketball. But, I mean, that's pretty, like, the 32 seed.
It's good stuff. Now, I think it was like on episode 2, we assigned you homework that we were going to discuss the Daytona 500 from 2010.
That's right.
I got an exciting text from you saying you finally concluded the race. So what's your update on that?
Yeah. So Braxton, I know we're talking about like current in-season challenge. So I have not made it to the 2025 season of NASCAR yet. I'm still working my way up, and you assigned me homework. Did not tell me that this race had over 2 hours of caution. So I'm sitting there, and the whole race is got the what's it called, the caution car out. So yeah, it was. I was just like, what the hell? This race sucks. 2 hours of caution. But you did also give me the read ahead to expect something great out of a current NASCAR talking head. And what I first expected when the race started was that Jeff Gordon was going to do something amazing, because he had to immediately drop back. I think it was to like 32nd because he used a replacement car. So I was like, oh, and then he was making moves too throughout the race. I think he got up to top 5 at one point. So that was very exciting to watch. But obviously it was about Dale Earnhardt Jr. in those overtime extra laps, going from 10 to 2 in under a lap, and almost catching Jamie McMurray to win the 2010 Daytona 500. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was. I mean, I did have to get through 2 hours of caution. I probably could have just watched the final 2 laps. And
well, and you see, I threw you off the scent because there was 3 current NASCAR talking heads in contention of that race, and Jamie McMurray, Kevin Harvick, and Jeff Gordon. So there was a lot of angles, and then just to have a random Dale Earnhardt Jr. push there at the very end, he almost made history. I thought it was a good race, especially at the ending, to get your juices flowing and see what the climax of a race finale could be.
And it was like going back to 2010. I like the model of car much better than what's racing now. I'll probably get crucified for this, but it looks like they're like racing like Toyota Camrys, and like to me that's not fun, because like I drive a Toyota Camry. I want to watch like something that looks fast, like a race car. And the 2010 model of car, that looked like a stock car. I don't think today's cars look like stock cars, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. What's is Gavin in the chat giving us?
Gavin just got in the chat. Yeah.
What's he saying?
Well, he's saying if it was 1999, Eric would have died from hitting the wall. I'm assuming that's a reference to today's race. And
That was the
then,
Austin Hill Eric dump that I was telling you about.
and then he is talking about the seeding, saying that Ty Gibbs is equivalent to a 4 seed and Ty Dillon is a 16 seed. That's correct.
That's the college basketball breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that'd be yeah. That's good. So,
and he's
so
also
Gavin,
saying,
that's our NASCAR.
Oh, go ahead, Braxton.
No, I'm just telling him that's all we got. What we need.
He said that we forgot to highlight that this weekend marked JR Motorsports' 100th win.
I saw that shared on his Instagram story. If Gavin wants, we can continue to try our NASCAR updates. NASCAR is kind of a front-loaded sport for me. It's immediately following the Super Bowl. I get really fired up for the Daytona 500 and their kind of Western push there immediately before baseball season, and then I start to fade away a little bit if I'm being transparent. So, Gavin, if you want to download the software and give us a NASCAR minute every episode, we can definitely fit that in, and we can let you fly.
That'd be great. That'd be a good segment. And I think I got overzealous in the segment idea of watching historic races and talking about them, not realizing that I'd be devoting like 3.5 hours of my time. But what I'm thinking now, and this is a good segue to our next topic, is if I watch historic WWE matches, because those are a little more compressed and more of a storyline, if you will, like a season of TV. And talking about WWE, sadly, we're going to weigh in on the untimely and unfortunate death of both Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne over the past week. So, Braxton, let's lead off with Hulk Hogan. I know you were a big wrestling fan growing up.
Yeah, so as you said, in Poland, there was times where I would be just watching like the 2005 Royal Rumble, and I would be a psycho about it where I would have to go back and I'd watch like 2 Raws before the Royal Rumble and the Raw immediately following, just to get into the zone, make sure I knew all the promos and who was heel and who was babyface. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, I think he is the face of WWE. He passed away. I don't know what the report was on how he passed away. It was cardiac arrest or what it was. But he passed away. He was in his early 70s. He obviously had a big push for President Trump's campaign. He made a lot of appearances, so he was back in the spotlight a little bit. The thing about Hulk Hogan, we'll talk about his wrestling, but he was just in the spotlight because I can remember as a kid liking WWE, the current WWE, like late 90s, early 2000s, and then VH1 had the Hulk Hogan, or MTV or VH1 had the Hulk Hogan show.
I forget I think I have it up here. What was the name of that? But yeah, it was the show Hogan Knows Best. Hogan Knows Best with his wife and then 2 kids in Florida. And I remember that show. And it's kind of sad because I'm pretty sure his son's still in jail for like vehicular homicide. Pretty sad. And what's also pretty sad is I also read that he was pretty estranged from the daughter, Brooke. Like I don't think they've spoken in 2 years. And then also he got divorced, obviously, since the show aired, and now to his wife.
Yeah, and but from wrestling standpoint, he really merged WWE. Vince McMahon went and got him. He took it from a regional product and made it a more national thing, and he really culminated who he was in WrestleMania 3, the famous match against Andre the Giant. I believe Andre the Giant was undefeated going into it. But he really had like short matches and wasn't really tested. In WrestleMania 3, they had a decently length fight, and he did the famous suplex, dropped the leg, and he beat Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3. And that's what I think people think of when they think of Hulk Hogan and wrestling.
Yeah, I think WrestleMania 3 for sure. And he headlined, I want to say, the first 8 WrestleManias, and it just shows, like you said, like how important he was to professional wrestling. And I remember he was on everything. Like he had a cartoon. Hulkamania was everywhere in the 90s.
Yeah. So
I was WrestleMania
5, the storyline with Randy Savage, they were tag team partners. They ended up Randy Savage gets jealous. They have the fight, WrestleMania 5. Hogan beats him. Those are the early ones, but he was still headlining WrestleMania in WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 19. I think WrestleMania 18 is probably his best fight with The Rock, because that was NWO Hogan, which people argue wasn't the best Hulk Hogan because it was like he was like grasping at making a comeback. But he was the face of NWO. He was the heel. Rock was the baby face. They get into the squared circle, and the crowd flips.
You say square circle?
Yeah, the squared circle. The crowd flips, and on the fly, Hogan becomes the baby face, and the Rock's the heel, and they have a great match. And I think that was his best match. And then WrestleMania 19, he follows that up with a street fight against Vince McMahon. So he's had juice left in him for a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it sounds like he wasn't doing too well at the end of his life, which was pretty sad. But he didn't die a poor man, that's for sure. He got a $140 million settlement from Gawker, and it was the end of Gawker for the sex tape that was published without his consent.
Yep. Yeah, and he had Thunder Lips was good.
Got Rocky 3.
Rocky 3, Mr. T's Rocky,
yeah,
correct?
Rocky 3, yep.
That got him like fired from WWE. Or like that was a lot of drama in that because he was breaking kayfabe in the eyes of the oldies. But he was the man, and he had his faults. He had the sex tape. He had some racial stuff. But Hogan was Hogan. I think he was almost bigger than all that. He was
definitely an American icon. Like talk about like Americana, Hulk Hogan.
He reeks, and he reeks it. He was the man. And we also had Ozzy Osbourne pass away. It was a rough week for icons.
Yeah, this is a plug, and again, no free ads, but they've been putting a lot of like the Osbournes, the TV show from the early 2000s, like that's being highlighted on the streaming services. I didn't realize this, but it was a year ago. They did like these basement tapes of the Osbournes, so Sharon, Kelly, Ozzy, and Jack rewatching the show in 2024 with like a comedian, and it's so funny, like them watching it and commenting on it, and it is like a blast from the past, like time capsule, like looking back and like commenting on like 2002. And the show, I didn't realize this, but like the first episode, it was filmed on like September like 12th, 11th. So like they're talking about like the invasion of like Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Did you watch the show? You were pretty young.
I was young. I saw clips of it. I can remember being at relatives' house and it being gone, but I remember more of Sharon doing. It's Sharon, right? Not
the
Shannon.
wife. Yeah.
I can remember more of her antics, and then it would just do like the cutscenes of Ozzy talking, like in the interviews, just talking about whatever Sharon had going on. That was really my recollection of it.
She was definitely the star of the show, and the kids, they were nuts. But yeah, he had some fantastic one-liners, and he still did too. Like last year when he's watching the show, he was so funny. But talk about just, I mean, he's lucky. And this is probably controversial, but like he didn't die sooner from the amount of drugs and alcohol he did throughout his career. And just talk about like, I mean, tiger blood going back to like Charlie Sheen.
He was battling with Parkinson's.
He did have Parkinson's, yeah.
And he did a show 3 weeks ago.
I know, that's what's crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I'm sorry, I can't let this go by. You talked about Hogan Knows Best, and then Osbourne Family. What was it? Osbourne Family Values, the show name.
Just Osbournes.
The Osbournes. That era of like MTV VH1 shows. This is a complete sideline. I was just in a trance thinking about it. You had those two. You had Viva La Bam.
Viva La Bam was good too.
Jackass, Wild Boys. There was a show called Parental Control. There was a show called The Bus. What was that, Next? Or
No, that was brutal. The Next Bus.
The next bus. That was just a heyday.
Remember Room Raiders when they would bring out the black light into the bedroom?
They had so many
The dreaded
shows.
black light.
Parental Control, I remember clearly because my dad was obsessed with that show.
With which one?
So Parental Control was when you'd have
Yes.
the parents of a couple and they wanted their son or daughter to date other people, and they would sit in the living room
and
and watch
the current like significant other would be sitting with the parents and get like
and they
Chris
brought him
Lewis
all.
loved that show.
He loved it. He had it like VHS recorded.
He recorded it before TiVo. If we still have Parental Control on VHS, we have to watch that.
I probably overrode them all with. That's how I. So like for Monday Night Raw ran from 9 to 11 on USA, and I could only watch the first hour, so I'd have to VHS the second hour and watch it when I got back from school on Tuesday. But yeah, that was a heyday. You had Life of Ryan. That was about Ryan Sheckler. I don't know if you remember that show.
Yeah, the skateboarder. Yeah,
that was a big one. Viva La Bam was Robin Big.
Robin Big was fantastic, and Fantasy Factory.
Yeah, that was tragic. Their relationship. Speaking of deaths, apparently they hated each other.
Robin Big hated each other.
They started to hate each other on their later years of Robin Big. They said they would be in like fist fights between scenes.
Oh my goodness, that's really sad. Yeah. Hopefully they do like the behind the music of Robin Big. And then Viva La Bam too, like super sad. Like Don Vito, like he is a child sex offender. And
was he really?
Yeah. Don Vito got hemmed up pretty good.
Yeah. His dad's name was Phil. And they were all in Westchester. What's in the water in Westchester? You got Viva La Bam and Shane Gillis coming from the same cloth.
Elko, yeah, Delaware County. It's a wild place.
Sorry, I know that was a complete. That wasn't on the ticker, but I wanted to
bring that was a good. I like that. That's very fun. Like watching that like era, like early, because that's like when I was in like middle school and then high school, like early 2000s. So
they could get away with anything.
It was nuts seeing like the old tech, and like the Osbournes. It was a phenomenon.
Well, we got in the chat right now. I don't want to
chat out. So let's see. So Trooper Mackey wants to know about UFC talk. We could probably dabble in UFC. We're talking about WWE. Like rewatching old because it's all on Peacock now, which is fantastic. But UFC is also on ESPN Plus. If you want to watch an old UFC, Braxton, we could talk about that, or we can do current UFC.
Didn't we watched like UFC 1?
We did.
We watched UFC 1 together.
We watched UFC 1 in Poland.
That was nuts.
Oh, no weight classes.
Straight up tournament. And you're fighting multiple fights. And was it Royce Gracie was in the first one?
Yeah, he was the first Ultimate Fighter. And he beat.
And he wasn't even the best in the Gracie family at that time. They sent him as he was like the third best in the family.
Yes, they said they sent him to show that like anyone knowing this technique can take down like someone that's like, because they have the sumo guy who was, I think he was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, maybe.
They had Butterbean.
Like had him by like 300 pounds, and Royce Gracie took him down.
We could do UFC. Talk about McGregor. Conor McGregor's been in the news recently.
About the White House lawn fight or other stuff?
Just photos that you don't want the world to see came out of him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Trooper Max also asking about Happy Gilmore 2. We don't want to. It's still premiere weekend. Don't want to do spoilers.
I think we can talk without spoiling.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Here's my take on Happy Gilmore 2. Me and producer Kaylee watched it last night. Happy Gilmore 1 is a phenomenal film that has tremendous rewatchability forever. That's my opinion. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talk about how much they disliked Happy Gilmore 2. I think those people are attention seekers and just want to be cool for saying they don't like it. And this is why I say that. First off, I'll lead with the fact that I'm an Adam Sandler stan. Like, I don't think Adam Sandler can do much of any wrong. The Netflix deal he signed to make like murder mystery, all these like cheesy movies he makes. I don't care how cheesy they are. Like, I've never watched an Adam Sandler movie and left it super displeased.
Mhm.
All his movies make you feel good. Adam Sandler's a great guy. He hires the same people. He works with the same people through Happy Madison. He has his wife. He has his kids in all of his films. This movie has a lot of cameos, a lot of product placement. I get all that. It's also 2025, and that's what people like. So they made it to their time.
Yeah.
And the movie's lighthearted. I think it throws an incredible jab at the current state of golf. And I think there's a lot of deep undertones there with the jab they take at this opposing golf league. And then in real life, they have two players from that opposing golf league play on the traditional golf side, which you could chalk that up as just being a movie and they're getting paid to do it. But I think that kind of says a lot. That was a takeaway. So anyway, Happy Gilmore 2, is it going to win any awards? Probably not. Does it have the same rewatchability of Happy Gilmore, the original? No. But it's a good film, lighten up. They had a lot of cameos. They did a great job of answering all the nostalgia from the first one and making people just feel good. That's my take.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it again. Have a second look at it because I watched it and I think I had a lot of the reactions people had. Like, I mean, the original was so good, it was so funny. In this one, like, yeah, it had like gags that you were kind of expecting, and then like the new golf league thing was gimmicky. But I did, like you said, Adam Sandler. I audibly laughed like multiple times during the movie. I was like, that's pretty funny.
The John Daly, that stuff was good. I don't know. I thought it was good.
Yeah. And Scotty Scheffler crushed it. He was, for me, the highlight of the movie. He was so funny. Number one golfer and just hysterical.
He was laughing. He laughed at himself. Like, he had to laugh at himself to do that role. And even Kaylee was shocked that he did it. People were wondering if he felt fulfilled by doing a movie.
I know. Xander was good too. The quick Xander bit was very funny.
Not a spoiler, but the Will Zalatoris bit was gold.
Him leaning into that was great. Like, all these pro golfers, like, and you saw it too on Full Swing, the documentary. Like, I think the first episode of season 2, they were on set of Happy Gilmore, and like, for them, how much of a privilege it was to be a part of the movie and how much they like wanted to be a part of Happy Gilmore universe, so to speak.
Yeah, no, it was great. And anyone in the chat who's seen it, who has any comments, I'd love to go back and forth.
They're just talking about the Scotty scene from Gavin, hilarious. And then producer Kaylee, she's chiming in that it was wild that the two golfers in Live were on the classic golf team, Bryson and Brooks.
And that's the first time Brooks has been relevant in a while, so that was good for him.
Yeah, that's good for him.
and I think Bryson's contract with Live is coming up soon, and I know he's been saving face, but I wouldn't be shocked if a rule change is made and you see Bryson DeChambeau come back to the tour.
Well, there was something that just came out about how Live is not going to pay fines. I want to say it's the DP World Tour. Right. So like all of the European golfers that are eligible through the DP Tour for the European Ryder Cup, it was, what's his name, Rom. He's like, I'm not going to pay the fines. So up until now, Liv had been paying their fines.
Correct. It's going to come to a head soon. The only critique I have about Happy Gilmore 2 is I wanted more Shooter McGavin.
Okay. You didn't like his redemption, or?
No, like, I thought when he was in it, it was great. Like, I'm not mad about the storyline with Shooter. I just wish there was more Shooter.
Okay.
Than maybe earlier and longer.
I thought there was a good amount of Shooter. That was my take.
I liked when Scheffler did the Scheffler.
That was good.
I don't know. I liked it.
I enjoyed it. Well, I'll watch it again most likely, but yeah, it definitely doesn't have the rewatchability of the original, but that's okay.
It doesn't have to.
Yeah. Well, then we got into a little bit of fair or foul, talking about Happy Gilmore, which was unplanned but fun. But for the fair or foul that we had ready from our production meeting and the ticker topic, this came up. This is for me. Maybe you'd seen this before, but I was watching the Red Sox. They beat the Dodgers today. Great game. Walker Buehler pitched a great game against his former team, and it was close. And it went to the ninth inning. And in the ninth inning, the Dodgers, they got a hit and they pinch ran Estuary Ruiz. Are you familiar with Estuary Ruiz? I was not until today. No,
Not familiar. No.
Okay. So he gets on base. He's like their base stealing specialist, but only had 3 attempts, but he was successful all 3 times. He came out with double base stealing mitts. And let's see if this works. For our listeners, I got a picture up right now of him on the A's. Hopefully we don't get DMCA'd for this. But wearing the two mitts. Now, sliding mitts, you can answer that first, fair or foul. Double sliding mitt, fair or foul.
Okay, so I've had opinions on the sliding mitts for a long time. I didn't play baseball past high school, so let me lead with that. When I played baseball in high school, you didn't have sliding mitts. That was not a thing.
Nope.
Now I actually have, you can't see it, I have a scar on my finger because in high school, our base running coach taught us that whenever you slide into first base, you keep your hands extended, like you're sliding back from a lead, you keep your hands on, you bring your left foot, right foot up.
You duck, you put your right hand up, put your head down.
And then you bring your foot to the bag with your hand still on it so you don't get tagged.
Yep.
I ended up getting a scar on my finger. I accidentally brought my cleat up to my hand that was still on the bag and sliced my finger. I have a pretty gnarly scar. I don't know if a mitt would have protected that. But the mitt's ridiculous. I don't know. I know they've talked about, I think, in the winter meetings about making a rule on the dimensions of this because it's giving you inches on your slide in.
That's a good point. I never thought about. Like, yeah, I've seen some of them are like absurd. These sliding mitts,
and they say it's saving. I don't know what they're saying. I guess it's for injury prevention.
Yeah, it's like PPE.
For us, it was so you wouldn't stub your fingers. If you had batting gloves, you would hold your batting. You take your batting gloves off, hold them in your hand, slide in with it like that. I don't know. We didn't have mitts. I never thought about. There was never a point when I was on the base path and I was like, you know what would really help me from injuries or performance is a mitt, where I can't use my extremities. That never crossed my mind. I think they're ridiculous. So if you can show me empirical evidence of where it helps with injury prevention, or if you just want to own up that it's an advantage for gaining inches on your slide, I could be convinced to give you a fair for the one. I'm out on the double. There's nothing you could show me.
I saw this guy. He's got his tube like this. It looked like he was taking a cake out of an oven.
If you want to,
and they were bright blue, Dodger blue.
And I don't know this. I'm going to assume that if they only go one mitt, it goes on your throwing hand to protect your throwing hand. I don't know that. Maybe former high school baseball coach Chris Lewis can chime in. But I think it's ridiculous. But I think that's a culture shift in today's baseball. If you go into Academy or Dick's, all these like little leaguers are wearing the shin guards, they got the Evo shows on their wrists, they got the elbow guards. In high school, we used to think like the shin guards and the elbow were for major leaguers because, they were seeing 98 miles per hour.
Yeah. It was
at no point
chirped if you were wearing a lot of that gear. Like when I was playing Babe Ruth high school ball, like we all looked up to like Moises Alou and Vladdy Guerrero, where they just went no batting glove. Like that was
it's baseball's gotten so flashy. But what I was saying about the Dicks and stuff, you go into Dicks and you'll see all this it's baseball gear, so it's for boys, and they wear like the neon pink. It's all neon pink and neon yellow and stuff that like we walk through with my daughter and she thinks it's for her. It's just flashy. And I don't think baseball is meant to be flashy. There's only one person on a baseball team that's supposed to be flashy, and that's your shortstop. The shortstop is the only person who's ever been given permission on a baseball field to be flashy, and it's expected.
Or I think your closer has some leeway too, but they don't have a closer in like youth baseball.
But 1 through 9 should not be dressing like that. I just don't. I don't like the trajectory of it.
Trooper Max weighing in too, and this is a great point. He says it's a style game in his opinion, and you look at all these 10 underwear and all this protective gear, but they have to wear rubber cleats. Like they're not even wearing like actual spikes. It's very true.
Well, and pace of play, you'll have these high schoolers get walked. They'll go down to first. It takes them an hour to take everything.
Their armor. Like
it's like they're going to war. I have seen people running training in the Army wearing less protective equipment than these baseball kids going and taking that back. And the kid, guess what? The kid they're facing is throwing 78. And they're up there like they're it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, from 60 feet away. What I do think is hysterical is, and I feel bad, but like because it's become part of like the the culture or whatever. Some kids can't afford like the actual like the branded sliding mitts from Dick's. They have their mom's oven mitt. It's just like hamburger helper sliding to first base.
You know what I did growing up, Dan?
What's that?
And I don't know if we talked about this on the show about what I did with my hands. That's what I did when I was in Little League.
What?
Did I talk about this on the show about my hands?
What are you talking? What? You just talked about how you cut your hand. What's going on?
So me as a kid, this is how anti all this excessive wear. I went through a phase where I didn't wear batting gloves either. Yeah, I thought it was like hard because this is before Evan Gaddis. Remember when Evan Gaddis went from janitor to big leaguer, played for the Braves, was electric. He was a catcher. He wore nothing. He had no gloves, no nothing. He'd go up there and just rip one. Anyway, when I was a kid, I'm talking like 3rd grade, 4th grade, and I wasn't wearing batting gloves. My dad said, "Hey, do you know how to toughen your hands up?" I said, "No, Dad. I'm an freshman."
No, I think I know exactly what you did.
I said, "I am your son. Please teach me your ways." He said, "You pee on your hands." And
that's what Moises Alou did. That was the story. Moises Alou would pee on his hands.
Like my whole 4th grade year, I was making messes in the bathroom, peeing on my hands for baseball. Because my dad told me to.
Why are you doing the shower?
Huh? Well, I probably I wasn't supposed to pee in the shower, so I did it. I was like under the toilet doing it. Because my dad told me to.
Your
I wasn't wearing
up. Don't tell this story. Your wife wants to yank you off the screen right now.
That's true. That's what I did.
We're also getting some chatter in the chat about Triton or Fightin necklaces. I'm not familiar with these.
So Fightin necklaces, they're making a comeback. Some big leaguers are starting to wear them. You remember the balance bands?
Yes.
So same idea with Fightin. It had some technology that you wore.
Basically like your blood flow or something?
I don't know. Tim Lincecum wore them.
Okay.
When Tim Lincecum was at his heyday. So kids, you'd buy the Fightins. At one point, I think I peaked in like 6th grade Little League. I was rocking like 4 of like varying lengths and colors. That was as flashy as I got.
T. Little League.
And then you would parlay that. Like once I was in like 7th, 8th grade, you'd wear them to school because it was like a fabric, and you'd spray your cologne on it. And if you had a girl who liked you, you would give them your Fightin because it smelled like you.
Producer Kid, is that what did it for you with Braxton? The Fightin, the cologne.
I think she had other boys' Fightins, but she knows the game. That was the game back then. That was our oven mitt. Was the Fightin necklace.
That's much cooler than the oven mitt.
A lot. At least it like helps you get girls. The oven mitt's not helping you get girls.
No.
Like, what are you getting in the kitchen?
Well, maybe it shows like, hey, this guy bakes on. He's not playing ball. He's a baker.
He knows his way around the kitchen. Idiot. So soft.
So I'm happy. It sounds like consensus. Sliding mitts in general, borderline foul, but double mitt, absolutely foul.
I can be talked into the one mitt if I can get a reason. The double, you're not convincing me on the double.
Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. You were foul.
Did Dad go in the chat? Please tell me he has to take it.
Miss Amy Lewis said he's working, unfortunately.
God, he would be fired up about this topic. I think he has the same opinion as me.
All right.
He'd also try to defend himself.
We'll get a special clip from Mr. Chris Lewis. And Kaylee's, yeah, she loved the fighting necklaces, but yeah, the girls wore more than the guys because the guys would give them to their girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Mason McGregor, he loved the fighting swaps. This is like a Sadie Hawkins thing, huh? You give a girl your fighting. I guess that's not quite it.
Is Mason in the chat?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. I owe you a text back. I just want to get that out there.
And this is actually good. Miss Amy Lewis. She's contributed peeing on hands. Foul. All caps. Yes.
That's what you did.
That is foul.
You didn't have to buy me an oven mitt, ever. She's welcome. They're probably expensive, too. I don't know what the price. I bet they're way more expensive than they need to be.
I think the sliding mitts are like very expensive. That's why these kids got their oven mitts.
What? You know what my favorite thing they do is? I can't get off this. Tell me why Joe in left field has his sliding mitt in his back pocket playing the field. It's got
to be a fashion statement.
They're wearing those skinny pants, and they got their oven mitt in their back pocket playing left field. You're going to pop it on, and guess what? They're probably not even leading off the next game. They're probably 6-man up. You had plenty of time to grab it from the bench or your bat bag.
Yeah. And they have like their own their helmet box in the big leagues.
Baseball died when they banned tobacco on major league stadiums. That's when it died.
Yeah. That's a good segue too. You know, speaking of when baseball died and the current commissioner, let's move into Commissioner Lou and fantasy football. You were dying to talk about this topic, Commissioner Lou.
Okay, so I am a proud owner of a football league.
Well, I don't know if you're the owner of the league. You administer the league.
I administer and own the league. I make all this. I decide how the league is ran and what happens in the league. So I would say I own the league. Okay, so a couple things. Last year, Gavin Capehart won the league. Who did he beat in the championship game? Do you remember, Dan?
It was me.
It was you. So Gavin won the league. I promised him a trophy. He does not have a trophy.
It's in the mail, right?
So this is just Commissioner. Say again.
It's in the mail.
So yeah, so I was going to do a trophy where we added the names continuously. Given me not doing it on time, I've decided we're not going to do that. We're going to do a specified trophy for each year. So you'll get to keep your trophy forever. So Gavin, just so you know, producer Kaylee's working on getting your trophy sent out. By the end of this week, you'll have the trophy in the mail or sent to you at least in transit for your 2024 victory.
We don't pay producer Kaylee enough. That's
no,
a lot
we
of
don't.
work.
With that being said, I reopened the league this year. We have 10 teams. I have sent out a text message trying to get feelers out for if we're going to have returners. So I wanted to open it up. Yeah. So currently we have 10 people. We might have a couple drop out. I wanted to open up 2 more slots to listeners of Woody Lou Sports and You. So if you want to be part of the football league, I'm capping the league at 12 teams. I think you got to cap it at 12.
Some listener involvement. That's pretty fun.
So I'm capping it at 12, but first 2 people to comment that they want to be in the league and they're not in the league, you will get added. So Dan, make sure you look at the comments.
Trying to join. First one.
All right, so we got 1 more slot available for the league.
He said that's crazy, no invite. That is crazy, Trooper Mac.
Wow, okay. It's just popular to hate on the commissioner. So once we get our 12 teams solidified, I'll be pushing out the draft day. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited for Gavin to get his trophy. I think the singular trophy you get to keep forever because you can't take the trophy away. It matters. Now, the one question I did have, and I was going to ask a general manager within the league, you, Dan, and Gavin, who's in the chat, and Kaylee's in the chat. We should do a traditional draft order this year based off last year's results, yes? That's where I'm leaning. I just want to get your thoughts on it.
I have thoughts on this. I think that's totally fair to do reverse order of what the standings were. However, I am a fan of some sort of competition. And one of my favorites is we do a random drawing of Little League World Series teams, and how your Little League World Series team does is your order in the draft.
Well, Venezuela's off the table.
They can't come in.
More on that later. We could do that. When does the Little League World Series conclude in time for us to do the draft before week 1?
Yeah, it's usually done in August. I don't know the dates of this year's tournament, but yeah,
Okay, we can look
usually it's done.
I like that. So we'll shoot for a competition like that. If that is unfruitful due to buy-in from the rest of the owners or the timeline doesn't work out, I think our default, just so we have transparency, our default will be order a finish from last season and then newcomers fill in the last 2 spots.
Yeah,
Does that
I think that's
sense?
fair. What do you mean the last 2?
So Gavin,
so they get, it's not like an expansion draft?
So we had 10-man team, or we had 10-man league last year. This year, Gavin came in first, so Gavin will draft 10th. The 2 newcomers will draft 11th and 12th.
Okay.
That'll be our default if we don't find a competition that we can do.
We have some strongly opinionated governors in our league, so this should be a contentious vote, whatever we do.
I look forward to it. And I'm going out on the record. This is the only league I'm doing this year because I feel like the reason that I have faltered in the past is because I have too many things going on. So this is going to be the only league and team I commit to this season.
Okay.
I'm off the market.
Is there a punishment? We
can talk punishment. We can talk punishment. Also, for Trooper Mac, who wants to be a part of the team, and this might be a result of some people leaving the league, I am requiring a $5 buy-in.
I think that's fair. I think we can afford that.
$5.
Oh, we got Miss Margaret Ann Hooker in the chat. May wants in too.
May wants in. Boom. $5 buy-in will be for the trophy at the end of the season.
I like it. Oh, so you pay for your own trophy.
Yeah.
It's like a BCS gift.
You pay for a quarter of it.
It's a BCS gift. Thank you, Gavin. Gavin said my idea is gold.
What's Gavin's idea?
He said my idea is gold about the Little League World Series.
Gavin, your trophy's on the owner. So whenever you think about trying to do a coup, just know the owner got you your trophy. So this one's on.
We're getting a stiff reminder, Braxton, from producer Kaylee, to not forget to discuss the giveaway.
Okay. Do we need to transition to giveaway?
Yeah, I think we should transition right now.
I really wanted to talk punishment, but we'll
say punishment. We'll say punishment for another pod.
Okay. So giveaway. Producer Kaylee gets on the job and she thinks that our viewership is low, which I don't think.
We got 6 viewers right now. It's a career high for us.
And we appreciate all of you. And make sure you like, subscribe, listen more, and tell your friends to like and subscribe and listen. She thinks to get some buy-in is to do a giveaway. The basic rules of the giveaway would be something to the effect of you have to follow the Instagram account, subscribe on YouTube, and share a post, something like that. She'll come up with whatever that is. Where I'm struggling is, what do we give away?
Oh, I thought you already had this planned out, what we were giving away.
No, this is what I wanted to talk to you about, because no free ads. And I'm struggling giving away things that aren't contributing to Woody Lou Sports and You. But I also don't know how much people want, like a signed Photoshop, like a headshot.
I think I have a great idea. We'll do a signed oven mitt.
I don't think that's gonna get your non-Artie Carter.
We have a lot of people that like to bake.
So the initial inclination was a gift card to Dick's and a Lula. I don't know how to pronounce it. A water bottle and a sleeve of golf balls. So get in the chat if you think you would be interested in winning that, or if your friends or their friends would be interested in winning that, so we can know what to give away to get the most buy-in.
I think we should try to use this as an opportunity to attract potential sponsors. I know we're a long way away from that. Dick's is good. I was thinking maybe Hooters, because I know that would be a ideal sponsor for Woody Lou Sports and You to do a live show from one of the best wing chains that there is.
Hooters gift card. Do you think amidst their bankruptcy, they're looking for up and coming podcast hosts?
I don't see why not.
It might be their last straw. Okay. Hooters Dicks, the sleeve of golf balls. That should do it.
Yeah, well, no, Hooters, the water bottle, and a sleeve of golf balls.
What a giveaway, dude. The guy can take the Hooters and the wife can take the water bottle. There you go.
I mean, they're in on it. Mason, in on the Hooters sponsor. Me too, Mason. I love Daytona style wings. Trooper Mac, he said that's tough. Uh-oh. Well, thought we would make it through a complete episode without technical difficulties. Okay, Braxton, we got Braxton
Caleb,
back.
Let me know in the chat if we're up. I can see producer Dan now. I'm assuming we're still live.
Yeah, we're still alive. That was almost a disaster on the 13th episode. We almost made it to the full hour. But Trooper Mac, yeah, he did a great point that there's not Hooters everywhere, and there's less and less Hooters due to the bankruptcy. And he says we're going cheap with just a sleeve. So maybe we bump that up to maybe actually it'd be pretty cool. What if we got branded WLS&Y like a box of balls?
Top flight balls with our logo on it.
Yeah, we're not doing Pro V1s. We're not.
No, we're not a Pro V1 podcast yet.
B-dubs.
Get your friends to like and subscribe.
B-dubs. I like B-dubs. Okay, so it's gonna be B-dubs gift card, that water bottle that you can't pronounce, and a what are they called? Carton of balls?
A case?
Box balls.
Box of balls.
I think it's called a box of balls.
Golf.
Max said that would be 6. See, we're responsive to our award-winning listeners.
That is right.
Dan,
I think we
go
have.
Ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was going to say we got about 3 minutes left in the hour. We do have one more topic. Shouldn't take too long, but what do you think?
So, Dan sent me a text today about top quarterback rankings. It was a link to an article. My initial thought was it was someone highlighting the initial quarterback rankings going into the upcoming football season. However, it was not.
No.
It was the top 25 of fictional quarterbacks. We'll save you the whole list. We're going to highlight the top 5 that the Ringer was a publisher, who they have named as the top 5 quarterbacks, fictional quarterbacks. And I have some honorable mentions. I believe Dan has some honorable mentions that we think should have cracked our top 5. So I'm just going to read off the top 5.
Yeah, it was a good list. So Stephen Ruiz of like the Ringer podcast network, Bill Simmons network, really fun article putting together the top 25 fictional quarterbacks, talks about their best traits, worst traits, and then has NFL comps too. So coming in at number 1 was Paul Crewe, the longest yard. This was kind of Bush League. He combined Burt Reynolds and the Adam Sandler versions from the 1974 and 2005 films. Number 2 was Willie Beeman, played by Jamie Foxx from Any Given Sunday. Number 3 was Reno Hightower, The Best of Times. Number 4 was Joe Pendleton, Heaven Can Wait. And number 5 was Vince Howard, played by Michael B. Jordan in the Friday Night Lights series. So, Braxton, I'll let you share your thoughts first.
I cannot give opinions on 2, 3, or 4 because I have not seen any 3 of those films.
I have also not seen, I'd never heard of the 4, Heaven Can Wait. I had no clue what that was. Shame on me. And then, same thing with The Best of Times. So I was surprised that those 2 were in, but I guess I got to watch those movies.
So Paul Crewe, The Longest Yard, both films, I think this was easy because he was the most accomplished quarterback who just fell on a hard night and found himself in a peculiar situation. Again, back to me being an Adam Sandler guy. Phenomenal film. His version is phenomenal. The original was phenomenal. I actually have no problem or no quarrel with Paul Crewe being number 1 on his list.
I just think Stephen Willie Beeman, he is the best fictional quarterback of the movies that I have seen. In the comp too for him was Aaron Rodgers. There's like some other reasons for that if you read the article, but he's basically Lamar Jackson. And came off the bench he was the third string quarterback and was absolutely electric, leading the Sharks to the playoffs in any given Sunday. I don't know, and he's in the prime of his career too. Like Paul Crewe, he is on the downswing. Like he is, almost a has-been at that point in the longest yard when he's playing against the guards. So I'm a big Willie Beeman stan, and I think it's wrong that he was not the number one in this ranking.
Now, the number 5 is controversial for me for another reason. So Vince Howard, if you know this about me and Kaylee, we watch a lot of shows, and I also have a hard time finishing a lot of shows. So we watched Friday Night Lights, so we did not make it to the East and West Dillon split. So I'm not privy to Vince Howard's performance under Coach Taylor. But I read the comp. I watched some videos. I think it's very clear why they compared him to Michael Vick.
Yep.
For better or worse. I don't think I can go with Vince Howard because I don't think he's the best quarterback for Coach Taylor. I think the best quarterback Coach Taylor ever had was Matt Saracen.
6.
Matt Saracen battled a lot of home life issues with his father with constant deployments. He was always deployed. He was caring for his grandmother. And he was also trying to battle love with his coach's daughter and do right by her while also getting the short end of the stick with her father and still winning football games for Coach Taylor, who also was going through a lot of personal development throughout his time as a quarterback.
So the argument, devil's advocate, Saracen had a better team around him than Vince Howard. And Vince Howard, he carried that, what was it, East and West? I can't remember. I think they were East Dillon Lions.
Yes,
yeah.
Red and black.
So it was him that pulled the team to the state championship, whereas some would say Matt Saracen was a game manager and did enough to not lose the championship.
There's a lot of game managers in Canton, Ohio. I would argue that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And there's a lot of great quarterbacks who have bad teams around them who are not. Now, the other ones who I wanted to highlight was Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
He's real, though. He's not even fictional. He was a real quarterback that played for South Carolina.
Exactly. And think about all the things he had to overcome with that locker room.
It's true.
Not a better guy for the job. And then my other one I just wanted to hit was Joe Kingman, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and the game plan.
So we talked about the game plan in a previous pod for DC
we
sports
can't sleep
movies.
On his.
We can't sleep. I've never seen that either, so I can't.
You haven't seen it?
No, I need to watch it. You haven't seen Cool Runnings, so
no. But I think you can't sleep on the size of that quarterback. And some would say he was a dual threat, but he was more of just a run-first guy. Caused a lot of issues in the locker room. I thought the article was great in saying his field vision lacked, since that was a big part. And part of the reason it was an undertone to the way he treated his daughter, who was estranged.
Yeah, I think there's some people on this list that barely played football in their movie. So I think that who should be added, and I'm unfortunately blanking on the character's name, but the quarterback that Paul Walker played in Varsity Blues. So
Mox?
No, Mox is in there. So Mox was played by James Vanderbeek. He is in there. I think he might be top 10, actually. He is top 10. Mox is 6. Mox is just outside the top 5. And he, creative, brilliant quarterback, but he was on the bench for a reason. And there's no mention. Lance, that's right, Lance. Thank you, Producer Kaylee.
Producer Kaylee with the Varsity Blues. Oh man. But yeah, that's kind of my take on the.
I just thought so. That was actually, that article was shared to me by a friend of the program, Ryan Calkin, and I enjoyed reading through it, and just wanted to discuss it, and also let the pod know about my passion for Willie Beeman.
I miss our New England listeners. I haven't seen them in the chat recently, and I miss them. I hope they come back to the fold soon.
He's from Michigan, but yes, we'll
Tony?
Tony from Weymouth said he was going to be listening tonight. I don't know what happened.
Talking specifically about Tony from Weymouth, he is one of my favorite listeners of the show.
Well, we have award-winning listeners, and I do appreciate. We had a lot of chat tonight, which was very, very fun. Only minor technical difficulty in episode 13, but we are at an hour and 5 minutes. So, Braxton, any closing thoughts for Woody Lou Sports and You, episode 13, New World Order?
Thank you guys for listening, watching, commenting. Please make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Be on the lookout for our giveaway. And Gavin, be on the lookout for your 2024 Fantasy Football League trophy.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.